Hello, guys. Another overcast day. I was gonna go to the boat, but it's temperatures in the mid 60s, and I said, nah, it's gonna be uncomfortable. All right, I'm having a little bit of Cuban elixir. Oh, that's good. And today, for the first time ever, aren't you glad you're here for this uh, special moment, occasion? I'm gonna smoke 2 cigars to have a competition here with aroma, taste, flavor, whatever you want to call it, between the Arturo Fuentes and the New World from AJ Hernandez. And what I did is I cut them because they're kind of long and I don't want to ruin. I'm not going to smoke 2 whole cigars, so this makes 1 cigar, right? I'm going to take the sticker off, put it here, and I'm going to tell which is which because this is rounded and this is boxy. So let's light up the New World. And this is my opinion, and I'm not a professional cigar smoker. I enjoy smoking a cigar. Okay. The aroma's good. Okay, it has a okay, right now it's biting. I'm getting the bite, and I really don't like that. I don't like cigars that bite. For the non-cigar smokers, it means that at the tip of your tongue, you're getting a little burning or sensation. Okay. Yeah. The flavor has a little bit, and this is not the first time I've had this before. It's got a little bit of metallic flavor. Now, I had an Onyx one time that had a metallic flavor, and it was stronger than this. This is a very light, but I have a very sensitive palate, and I noticed that the Onyx had a very strong metallic, and I said, this it could be moldy, it could be chemicals, but they don't use chemicals on cigars, not like they do with cigarettes. Um, and I threw them away. I had like four, and I lit them up, and and all of them were giving me the uh, same taste. So I chucked them. I had given some to a friend of mine. I called them up and said, "Hey, the cigars are bad. Throw them away," and he did. But this one's giving me a bite again. As far as the aroma, it's kind of there, but it's kind of weak. And when you light the cigar, you don't get that immediate aroma that you usually get with some cigars. Okay, let me put this aside. So now the Arturo Fuente. This is the A Reserve, the Arturo Fuentes Reserve, or the Rosa Reserve. Okay, aroma. Okay, right here. But it's a little more difficult when you have the smoke closer to your nose. Usually, if the smoke is coming at the end of the cigar, which it should be about 6 inches away, you can have a better smell. So it has a different aroma. Wait a minute, before it dies. Okay, no bite. It's got more of a cigar uh, aroma than the New World. This one has, the Arturo has a little more flavor. A little from here, I can smell the aroma. It gives you that old Cuban aroma, that old Cuban cigar aroma. In Cuba, the national pastime when I was a kid, it was dominoes. So after dinner, it could be any day of the week. It could be during the week. It could be on the weekends. There will be some men playing dominoes across the street from our house, and I would just go over there and hang around. And they were all smoking cigars. These are big fat guys with pot bellies and t-shirts, drinking coffee. Or in the weekends, they would be drinking beer and smoking cigar. Freshly made. Over there, nobody buys a box and stores it in a humidor. Nobody has. Uh, Most people don't have a humidor back then. Now, even worse. But people will go to the store and just buy one or two, maybe three, and then smoke them during the week. And I would hang out and just watch the men play dominoes. And I remember that aroma. In fact, it was better than this. I don't know, it's because the cigar was freshly made. Aunt's neighbor, which she was a few blocks away. No, actually, she was in a different town. That's where we used to live. They had a neighbor, and the neighbor would make. I would look over the window into his house. They lived on a hill, so the houses are kind of like stepped down like that. So from this window, you can see down into the next window. And I would see him roll cigars. He had the box, he had the cutter, the slicer, and he had the little mold where you shape it and the whole thing. And they would make their own cigars, and then he would sell it to anybody who wants to buy. People will knock on the doors, say, like, let me have four, let me have three, whatever, for whatever the price it was. I don't know. But this one has given me no bite, which is at one point ahead of the New World. No. Yeah, this one draws a lot easier. I mean, it works like it's a hollow, actually, but it's it's spongy. It's not too tight. It's well wrapped. It's got good color. If you compare it to the Arturo, this is slightly little darker, just slightly darker than the Arturo. Let me see if I can keep them going. Yeah, this one, the Arturo has a little bit better flavoring. Okay, this one stop biting now. They usually do it at the beginning. My first ever cigar was a Pedron. I was never I wasn't always a cigar smoker. I started smoking after my 40s. I never smoked a cigarette in my life. Then I started smoking cigars, and it was a Pedron. And the first thing they did to me, it gave me a bite. They had a good aroma. They had a good flavor. I still smoke them once in a while, but I just didn't like the bite. Now some of them they give you the bite right away. Some of them take about uh, a quarter of an inch or half an inch, and then you get the bite. So it depends on many things. There could be if they do put a chemical, which I don't think they do, because there's no reason to spray chemicals the plant. Because what they do is when they make the cigars and they wrap them, they put them in a freezer for. I understand they put them in a freezer for a month, and that kills any bug. There's a certain bug that loves nicotine, and those are the ones that get into the leaf, right? So when they finish, they pick their leaves. They're not going to get a leaf full of holes. So when they pick the leaves and they separate them for wrapping and making cigars, excuse me, they after they wrap them, finish making them, they put them in this freezer. I'm talking a big freezer. They're going with a pallet, right? And they freeze them for a month, and then they take them out, if I understand right, and then they put their stickers on them, their ring. Yeah, Arturo, it's milder than the New World. But look at that, New World just burns because it draws a lot easier. This one is a little more tightly wrapped, and you have to draw a little more often. You gotta work it a little more often, and it's not burning evenly like the New World. Okay, let's see. Yeah, yeah, it's got a good aroma. Now I've smoked this particular cigar. I got another one. This one is not as strong as some. Some of them, the minute you light it up, you get that woof, you get that aroma. This one didn't do that. I don't know, maybe because I cut them and I'm smoking them halfway. Maybe the aromatic part is at the end. I'm gonna smoke that in another day, and we'll see what happens there. Yeah, with this one, I think you can put it down and it will be on for maybe 4 minutes. This one will go out within two, I think, because it's tightly wrapped. Now the flavor on this one, it's a little stronger, but I'm still getting the metallic taste, which I don't like. So that means I'm gonna give them to my friends when they come over. Yeah, it's got a metallic taste for some reason. I remember that when I sold Old Blue, my old four-wheel drive truck, the guy that came to buy it, he was smoking an Arturo, and I was sitting in the truck in front of my driveway, and he was walking up the driveway, and I could smell his cigar from that distance, and I'm going, "Whoa, what is that?" And he says Arturo Fuente, but he never told me which. There's so many. So he bought an expensive Arturo, and that's why you get that aroma. So when they get the leaves from the plants and they sort them out, they have these men and women. Actually, there's a lot of women in the industry, and they pick out the leaves. They'll say okay, this is for this and this is for that and that, and they got different grades. Uh, they get the most aromatic leaves for a particular cigar. So if you're getting a $10 cigar, you're not gonna get the same aroma. So if you buy a cheaper Arturo, you're gonna say, "Hey Ray, this Arturo I'm smoking is crap. You told me it was a good one." Hey, well, to be a good one, you got to spend more than $30 a piece, and then you're getting into something decent. It's not gonna be the best, but it's gonna be decent. Yeah, getting a little better, but still get that a little metallic thing. I don't know why, but the this cigar I picked it up in a reunion, and they each table had cigars for everybody, and I picked like three or four because there were ladies there that don't smoke, and I said, "You want them?" She goes, "Nah, here, yeah." So I took them, and that's where I got them. But I don't know what they pay for them. I don't know if this is a $10 or $20 or what. It's not a $30. I can tell you that. So if you buy in bulk, you get cheaper prices. That's for sure. So right now, remember that I lit this one first, but only maybe not even a minute uh, before I lit this one. So this was burning quicker. I'm still getting I'm still getting that weird taste. The Arturo doesn't have it, definitely. So the New World, something's going on with the New World. Maybe Hernandez, if you're watching, take note of that. That your cigar has a peculiar flavor. Yeah, the aroma it's a little. I'm not gonna call it funky, but it's not as nice as the Arturo. Yeah. If you have quality cigars, you're gonna like it because you're beginning your smoking experience with a quality cigar. You don't want a cheap cigar. You're gonna go, it tastes like crap. You toss it and then you never try it again. It's like having bad liquor. If you have cheap whiskey, you're gonna say, "Oh, this is gasoline. I don't want to drink it." You have to drink quality stuff so you can appreciate what you're drinking. See, but this one you gotta keep it going because otherwise it'll die. I'm still getting the metal. Oh, I'm gonna put this down. I'm gonna just let it die because it's spoiling my taste here. Yeah, I want to buy some Arturos, possibly today. Now another one that I enjoy is Havoc. Don't know who makes it. It's got a weird name. They should change it. But anyways, it's got a good flavor. It's mild like the Arturo, and Bolivars. I love the Bolivars, the Onyx, except that batch that I bought that was a bad one. I don't know what happened there. They're darker, and it has a good aroma and good flavor. Now, I used to watch a lot of, and I still do once in a while. I watch Colombo. Don't have to explain who Colombo is. But the thing that got me was that Colombo, every time he took out a cigar, it was green. And I'm going, where does he buy green cigars? How can you smoke something that is green? I know it's not dye. You can put dye on. Well, maybe you could, but why would you? But he will smoke a green cigar. I'm going, green. I can imagine the aroma on that cigar. It's got to be weird. It's like burning green wood. So the ones that I've been trying different here and there. I smoked the Davidoff a long time ago. They're not cheap. Those are really good. But again, you have different brands. I mean, different grades of Davidoff. Um, I go to the casinos, the Indian casinos, with a friend of mine, and we take our wives and we go for a weekend and we stay in the hotels and everything. And they have a smoke room. And my friend goes, "Come on, I'll buy you a cigar." And they have this big humidor. And and I see Davidoff, and I'm going, mm. He says, "Okay, which one do you want?" And I said, "Well, you know, it's expensive." He goes, didn't ask you how much. Which one do you want?" And I said, "Well, I like the Davidoff." It was going for $45. He got me that one, and we sat down with some liquor, bourbon, I think it was, and we smoked that, and it was good, good cigar. You can't go wrong. But like I said, it's how much you pay. You get what you pay for. If you buy something cheap, you're getting a cheap smoke. So I'm gonna see if I can order some Davidoffs. They also have in a little box thin cigars for a quick half an hour smoke. You don't want an hour and a half. I never like those big Churchills that they last you forever. Uh, and I'm gonna see if I can get some of those. But but the Arturos, you can't go wrong with them right now. I mean, if you're getting something decent. Now I don't know why when I light up cigar, it ends up that it's one side doesn't burn, so I'm burning the cigar sideways a little bit, and I don't know what that means. But this one's good all the way through. So if you want to start, try an Arturo. He's still making cigars out of Tampa, Florida, which traditionally, if you follow the I got a book about cigars, and they start from the way back when they started becoming world famous in that they were selling everywhere in England and everywhere. And they you know when they had to get out of the country, they moved the operations to uh, Tampa, I believe, and they started making cigars in their home. They had a little shop going in the garage, and then we got some money together. They opened up a shop, and they went from there. Uh, think they grow their own stuff. Nicaragua and Santo Domingo, you know, Dominican Republic, and they pick and choose the preferred leaves for the line of good, better, and excellent cigars. Let's switch it up a little bit. I already gave the Arturo Fuentes the winner in this competition. New World, for some reason, has a weird kind of taste, like the acid cigar. No wonder it says acid. Yeah, it's acidy. Got a weird taste. I went to Vegas one time and I bought a Camacho, very good cigar. Don't know who makes it. So that's a good cigar if you wanna try a Camacho. But the Bolivars, to me, they're on top. So I'm gonna see if I can get an uppity price Arturo. Well, that's it for now, guys. I'm gonna finish up with this and clean up a little bit the garage here. It's a mess. All right, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.